Good evening, baseball fans, and welcome to the Gus here in Waupun as we get ready for some varsity baseball action here between the Waupun Warriors and the Kewaskum Indians. On Tuesday, these two teams faced each other at East Central Conference play, and from what we could tell here and looking a little bit back on Game Changer, the Waupun Warriors lost 5-0 in that contest, which so far seems to be the story for the Waupun Warriors this season, as they also went to Plymouth and lost to Plymouth 6-4, and then they came back at home, I believe it was, and they beat them 8-2. I thought I was looking at Game Changer, and I saw that's what the score was. Let me just double check that. In between there, the Waupun Warriors, it was 8-2 that the Warriors won here at home. Then they took on Chilton on Monday. They beat Chilton 13-3. Then again, it was at Kewaskum. They lost 5-0. And we're back here now for the second of the home-and-home matches for the East Central Conference baseball that's taken place here at the Gus tonight. Beautiful. Well, I would say it's probably a little hot for me and a little bit humid, but that's partially running home from work and not getting any shorts on, so sitting in dress pants doesn't do it, and the breeze is blowing out, and there really isn't a window that creates that wind in here, but I think I would take this over having the heaters have to be turned on. For the Waupun Warriors tonight, on the mound is going to be Mason Holz, and he will be the starting pitcher as well as the leadoff hitter for the Waupun Warriors. Behind the plate will be number 4, Hunter Camp. Over at first base is going to be number 9, Jake Krieger. And over at second base is going to be Brady White. At shortstop will be Evan Sauer, and at third will be Dane Stelsel. In the outfield is going to be Ethan Cunningham. And Brian Ferris will be in center. And in left will be Blake Coker. Leading off here for the Indians will be Donovan Zilmer, playing third base here for the Indians. Here's the first pitch, right on the outside edge. 443 at 93 degrees. Woo! She's a scorcher here. Can't imagine what it's like there on that brown AstroTurf. Right on the outside edge again. Looking back, doesn't like that strike zone, but I would say it was a good call from looking at it right here. Like that little bit wider plate, especially early, to force those hitters to go ahead and swing. Breaking ball in there, Forrest to right three, looking for Mason Holz to start it out. Good start there for Mason. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and he gets the K on Zilmer. Brings up Jacob Brzezowski. He's the shortstop. Here for the Indians, here's the next pitch in there, right down the middle, strike. So 4 pitches for Holz, 4 strikes. Much more efficient, and that's the way we like to see him pitching when he is out here pitching. For the Waupun Warriors, especially when you got a high pitch count, nice breaking ball there, strike 2. 5 pitches, 5 strikes for Mason Holz. Good start for Mason. Waupun Warriors 11-8 on the season. I'm going to open up the East Central, see where they're at there. Just a little bit outside. That's the first ball there thrown by Mason. 1-2 is the count with 1 out. See what I can find here on Wisconsin Sports Network. Here's the pitch by Holz. Inside. Good stop there by Camp as he blocks it. Makes the count 2-2. 1 out here for the Waupun Warriors on the defensive side. Brzezowski stepping in. Here's the next pitch. Breaking ball in there for strike 3 again for Mason Holz. Looking, froze him. So 2 up and 2 down here for the Waupun Warriors. Good to see Mason working things out. Maybe this warm weather has done some wonders for him. He's taking a look here at the standings so far. So Kettle Moraine Lutheran is undefeated in conference at 9-0. That's who the Warriors are going to be taking on next week. Hunter Lozer up. He's the catcher for the Kewaskum Indians. Batting in the third spot here for the Indians. Right away coming after it with a strike. There's a second strike for Mason. Ahead in the count, 0-2 with 2 outs. So the standings are Kettle Moraine Lutheran 9-0, Kewaskum 7-2, Ripon with a 5-6 record. I don't know why that puts them ahead of Waupun at 4-4, except for they beat Waupun. They swept them, if I remember correctly. But they still have a better record. That's going to be hit out to right, trying to get on his horse and get there is Cunningham. He's unable to do so, fields it, and that is going to be a base hit given to Loser. So he's going to get the single over to right field. First hit here for the Kewaskum Indians. Looking to see here. Normally I got Game Changer pops up right away, but not seeing it. So Alec Capazo. Oh, courtesy runner over there is Carter Curtin. Capazo in the batting in the 4 spot. 2 outs for the Warriors. Courtesy runner for the catcher. So again, normally I get to see this all, unless Game Changer's not fired up yet or something happening here with, maybe I have to reload. First win, that's popped up high. First baseman Jake Krieger's going to call off Holtz as the wind pushes it. Krieger does a nice job of getting underneath it, makes it look a little bit more challenging than it was, but gets the fly out. And the Warriors, with 4 up to get their 3 outs, no runs, 1 left on, and 1 hit for the Indians. 12 pitches for Mason Holtz. That's exactly what we need to see out of Mason to try and stretch it deep into this game. After 1 half complete, the Waupun Warriors and the Indians from Kewaskum are tied at 0s. We'll be back here for the bottom of the first. You're listening to Jeff Sauer here on Jeff's live stream. Hope you enjoyed this broadcast. And we'll be back from the Gus in Waupun. Welcome back to the Gus here in Waupun. Mason Holtz, leadoff hitter here for the Waupun Warriors. On the mound for the Indians, Derek May is the pitcher, wearing number 4. First pitch in there for a strike for the Indians. You're watching it here from the center field camera. Next pitch is in there for a ball, a little bit high. 1-1 is the count. Trying to see again if I could get Game Changer up, but it's not up and running yet. They're saying they're not scoring right now, so I have to see if I can find it a little bit later. Ball 2 from the right-handed pitching Derek May. Seeing if I could get to pull some of their stats and those types of things from that last game. 3-1 is the count now for the Mason Holtz. Do have a little bit of wind. You can see it's dancing. I got that camera mounted to the scoreboard, so you can see it shaking just a little bit out there from the wind. Blowing out to left field. And that's a little high, and Mason Holtz is going to draw a walk for the Waupun Warriors. So Warriors with a leadoff hitter on for this first inning. Courtesy runner's going to come in here for Mason Holtz. That's going to be number 24. Conrad Davis coming in as the courtesy. He'll be over there at first. You're looking at the third base camera. There's behind the plate. I try and make sure that I can flip these. I haven't done a very good job. I haven't had enough of a rhythm yet for this season with all kinds of personal stuff that's been coming up in my life this time, so I haven't been able to stay consistent with the broadcast. And I certainly have missed it, too. So here's the pitch. Davis with a good lead. First pitch on the outside to Evan Sauer. Strike 1. Nobody out. Here comes the next pitch in here by May. Outside, 1-1's the count. Conrad Davis had a good secondary lead there. He's got to be cautious here. Loser looked like he was going to fire it down. He's the catcher for Kewaskum. 2-1 is the count. Breeze picked up quite a bit there for Evan. It's got a couple of home runs on the season. That one he gets off the end of the bat on that breaking ball. Makes it 1-2. See that center field camera shaking there? Here's the pitch. Down in the dirt. Good block there by Loser to keep it in front. One and two. Nobody out. Runner over at first base, Conrad Davis. On the outside. Ooh. Wow. Okay, that one looked way outside, but I guess it's going to be a strike looking on Sauer for his first out for the Waupun Warriors. It's going to bring up number 23, Dane Stelso. Stelso, the third baseman for the Warriors. Still have a runner over at first for Waupun. Mason Holtz had drew the walk. Conrad Davis coming in. That's going to be popped up in the air, coming back behind the score booth. Oh, one is the count to Dane. One of two seniors on this team, so I've talked about it a couple of times when I broadcast. Waupun Warriors, a very young team. Davis, looking like he was doing a good job there. I think he was drawing May over to see if he could get him to flinch a little bit. Looks like he did. So he was leaning towards the base. That's high, snap throw. His first baseman knocks it down. The good thing he did, because otherwise Davis would have been able to advance. The first baseman over there, Alec Capazo. Derek May ready to deliver. Breaking ball on the outside edge. Good breaking ball there. 1-2 is the count with one out. Conrad Davis over at second. Takes off. That's going to be popped up. Davis is going to have to get back because it's a popped up in the infield. Flips it for the double play. Stelso ends up popping out and then flipping it over to the pitcher for this third out. No runs on no hits. Nobody left. 13 pitches for Derek May. And that last double play ended up being a 3-1 to get that third out for the Kewaskum Indians. You're listening to Jeff Sauer. After one complete, the score is 0-0, Kewaskum and Waupun here from the Gus. We'll be back. Back here to the Gus. Up to bat now for the Kewaskum Indians, number 14, Dylan Soik. He's the designated hitter. He's hitting to Jason Kircher. Fouls that one off for a strike. Again, Mason continuing his strike streak just to make sure that he's staying hot, and this is fantastic to see for Mason because this is what you need. You need him firing strikes out there. Just on the outside edge for the lefty. 1-1. Soik. Right down the middle. He hammers that one out to right. Good hard hit. He's going to get that out there for a base hit. It's a nice stroke by the lefty for Soik. Normally I try and get that switched back over to the plate, but I didn't. Apologize for that. There we go. Game changer's up now. Here comes the pitch. A little bit high into Matt Blank, right fielder for Kewaskum. Next pitch by Mason. Fooled the hitter up there as he saw that breaking ball coming down. Takes a swipe at it, makes the count 1-1. Good job. Nice pitch there. Mason Holtz ahead in the count, 1-2. Nobody out here in the top of the second inning. Dylan Soik over at first base. He was the DH. Next pitch, breaking ball in on the hands. Good job there, and he gets another strikeout swinging. Matt Blank goes down for the first out. Brings up Mac Beekle for the Kewaskum Indians. Beekle's the center fielder. One down here for the Waupun Warriors. Taking off, pops that one up into the field, trying to go after it. Getting it is the left fielder, makes the snag. It's going to be Blake Kolker. For the second out, forces Soik, who had a jump on that to try and get a stolen base. He's ended up having to go back to the first base. A little hit and run there. So again, apologize for not hitting that button. I'll get better at this as we pay attention. I was watching the ball instead of. Now he takes off again. Stolen base. He's up, standing up as it gets dropped there by Camp. So Soik now over at second base. So runner in scoring position for Kewaskum. Next pitch, 2-0. Into the pitcher, Derek May. Time is called. Going to move May over, put him on the, well, intentional walk. Brings up Lucas Block, the second baseman. May is asking for a courtesy runner as he's the pitcher, coming in as the number 1. That's going to be Braden Donath. I think that probably was a pretty good play. If I'm May seems like he's a pretty solid baseball player here, so makes sense. And coach obviously knows something from what happened with the game on Tuesday. Here's the pitch. That's popped up, going after his Krieger is going to go out of play. 0-1 is the count with 2 down here for the Kewaskum Indians at bat. Runners at first and second. Soik and Doneth. Here's the pitch. Nice breaking ball there for another strike. Into that wind, it really breaks nice for that lefty as it's coming across the plate for Mason Holtz. Dealing all kinds of strikes. I want to take a look at what those stats are once we get Game Changer back up here and at the end of this inning, see what that first pitch strike comes inside. Good pitch there. Again, had him thinking about going after it. Makes it 1-2 with 2 down. Kewaskum has runners at first and second. 1 hit here in the inning and the intentional walk. There's the curveball. Camp knocks it down. Keeps it at 2-2. Deuces are wild up in the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. And here's the pitch. Misses on the outside edge for Mason. Makes it a full count. 2 down. Runners will be moving. Warrior defense needs to stand tall. Strikes him out for the end of the inning. For the third out for Mason Holtz. No runs on 1 hit. 2 runners stranded for the Kewaskum Indians. And after 1.5 complete, the Waupun Warriors and the Kewaskum Indians are tied at 0. Coming back up here for the Waupun Warriors in the bottom of the second inning, leading in the 4 spot is going to be Jake Krieger, Blake Kolker, and Braden Larson is DHing tonight. We'll be back for that call from the Gus in Waupun. Welcome back here to the Gus. Bottom of the second inning, Jake Larson leading off for the Waupun Warriors. First pitch in there for a ball. Second one, strike drilled right back up the center, right at the center fielder. Good stroke there by Krieger. Just ends up going right to the center fielder for the out. He's right on top of May, though, which is good to see. Brings up number 34, Blake Coker. Coker playing in left field for Waupun tonight. Braden Larson on deck. He's the DH. He's batting for Brady White. He's playing over at second base. That's hit. Pops up into the air. Foul. Over on the third base side. Coach Derek Stanky over there at third base. Back here behind the plate for Coker at 1-1 with one out. Derek May on the fire. A little high and outside. 2-1 for Coker. Here's the next pitch. High again. 3-1 is the count. Warriors had a run in the first, or had a runner in the first inning. Got doubled off on a fly ball, foul. Here's the next pitch. Right down the middle, Coker with a good cut on it. Just missed it. Makes it full count here. With only one out. It's a pitch. Fouls that one off. Got a piece. Stay alive in there for Blake. Derek May ready to fire for Kewaskum. Right down the middle. Coker swings up over the top of it. Gets a strikeout.
Coker goes down swinging for the second out. Brings up designated hitter.
Second out there for the Waupun Warriors. Brings up now number 10, Braden Larson. He's DHing here for Waupun. Ethan Cunningham on deck for the Warriors. Derek May ready to deliver. High on that pitch. 1-0. 2 down here for the Warriors. In the bottom of the second inning. That's on the outside. 2-0. To Larson. Getting ready with the pitch. Here's Derek May. Outside. Ooh. He's called that one now twice. I think it's a little bit outside, more than you would typically see on a stretch of the plate, but I say he has called it twice, so makes the count 2-1. Here's the next one. Outside, 3-1 to Braden Larson. 2 down here for the Warriors in the bottom of the second inning. Kewaskum's Derek May fires, fouls that one off. Good job of protecting up there for Larson. Full count. Here's the pitch. Fouls that one off. Makes it 3-2. Larson asks for time, steps out, gets himself reset. Full count with 2 outs here. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. Allows Larson to advance over to first on the walk.
Draw is a 2-0 walk, brings up the right fielder Ethan Cunningham. Ferris up there.
Brings them now for the Waupun Warriors, the right fielder, number 3, Ethan Cunningham for Waupun. Larson over at first base. Pitch a little bit high and outside. Derek May ready to deliver. Little bit outside. 2-0. To Cunningham. Trying to get him to chase. Although he's been throwing everything pretty much to the outside. Get ready for the next pitch. Right down the middle. Good cut at it for Cunningham. 2-1. Larson over at first base. And see what happened. Loser catch one. Oh, on the foul ball, the umpire caught that one. Okay. Good job by Coach Spanbauer to step out to see how the umpire's doing. Give him a little bit more time. Got Larson over at first base. Here comes the pitch. Strike 2. Makes the count 2-2 here for Ethan Cunningham. With 2 down. Strikes out. Larson wasn't going, or it was only 2-2. I take that back. I thought it was a full count.
For the Warriors, no runs, no hits.
Cunningham goes down swinging
It's strand 1 after 2. 0
for the third out.
21 pitches for May. 34 through 2.
34 through 2, so he's been very efficient as well. 17 per inning. After 2 complete, the score is 0-0 here from the Gus in Waupun. We'll be back here for the top of the third. Welcome back here to the Gus as we get ready here for the top of the third. Top of the order for the Kewaskum Indians. Donovan Zilmer, the bat. Pitch in there for a strike again. Mason Holtz just continuing to deal. He had 6 first strike pitches in the first 9 batters. This will be number 7. Fouls that one off is Zilmer. Zilmer went down looking in the first time at bat. With a nice breaking ball that was thrown there by Holtz. He's up 0-2 That's exactly what I'd expect to see right now is that breaking ball. Here comes the pitch by Mason. On the outside. 1-2 is the count. Next pitch. Breaking ball. A little bit high. Makes it 2-2 now for Mason. Mason's got to continue to fire strikes here. Got him on the outside edge for the second time looking for Zilmer. Brings up number 9, the shortstop, Jacob Brzezowski. Good job there by Mason. Coming back with that breaking ball. A little bit outside, but the umpire's been calling that consistently out there. He's gotten 3 people to strike out already on that outside edge, way to the outside. There's that same pitch out there. 1-1 with 1 out. For Berzowski. Comes right back down the middle, makes the count 1-2. Mason Holtz, pitcher for the Warriors. Just hung that curveball a little bit high. Makes it 2-2. Reset the defense out there. Hunter Camp is the catcher for the Warriors. Stelsel over at third base. That one's going to be hit towards the right side, but that'll go way foul. Cunningham trying to give chase, doesn't get there in time. So it goes over into the pitcher warm-up area. Cunningham retrieves it, gets it back in. Evan Sauer is a shortstop. Brady White's over at second base, and Jake Krieger is at first for the Warriors. Brzezowski, the shortstop for the Indians, he also went down looking. Little bit high, able to hold it. He's looking back at the umpire. Looks for some help to see if he actually did check his swing, and he did. Makes it a full count, 3-2. Here's the pitch by Mason. Breaking ball right down the middle. Gets him looking again, and he knew it. For the second out. Brings up number 20, the catcher, Hunter Loser, for Kewaskum. Had a single out to right field his first time at bat. There's the pitch by Mason. Breaking ball starts him off. Little bit high for a ball. 2 down here for the Indians. Next pitch, outside edge. Loser takes a hack at it. Makes it 1-1. Here's the next pitch. Right down the middle again. Mason blows it past him. So Mason is doing a fantastic job out here. 1-2 with 2 outs. Here comes the next pitch in here. Timed by Loser. Gets it. Umpire doesn't have to grant it, but he sure granted that pretty quickly, as it looked like Mason may have been ready to go in his motion. Decided to help out the batter. Here comes the next pitch. Inside, that's going to be popped up out of play. Oh, couldn't tell. Stayed in play. One and two still is the count with 2 down. Here's the pitch. Down the middle. Fouls that one off. It's broke down a little bit. do it all again with Mason Holtz on the mound. 1-2 is the count. Here's the pitch. Strikeout for Loser. 3 up and 3 down for Mason Holtz. No runs on no hits and no errors. And nobody left on. After 2.5 complete, the Waupun Warriors and the Kewaskum Indians are 0-0. Pitches in that inning for Mason Holtz. He's got a total of 43. He's only given up 2 hits, 6 strikeouts so far, and only 1 walk. The Warriors are coming up to bat here in the bottom of the third. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back here to the Gus. Waupun Warriors here in the bottom of the third inning. That pitch goes way over the head of the Warriors batter, number 5, Bryant Ferris. Center fielder for the Warriors. Derek May on the fire. Right down the middle. Ferris gets it. Oh, good job there by the third baseman. Fires, drops over at first, and he's safe. Good job there. I thought it was nice all the way around. That's got to be an error on the first baseman. It went off of his glove, I think. I don't think so. I think it went off of the glove. Didn't have it set up, otherwise I'd have showed the instant replay, and I didn't hit the plate, so.
E3 on that play brings up catcher Hunter Camp. Top of the order, Holtz on that.
Error on the first baseman. That hit him right square in the glove. Ferris did a nice job getting down the line. Bunt, lays it down beautifully as Camp. Rotating, and they end up getting a tag out as they didn't have a good rotation set out there, but the Waupun Warriors are able to advance on a nice bunt there by Camp on the sacrifice.
First out, brings up top of the order pitcher, Mason Holtz. So right there.
Warriors now with somebody in scoring position. The way these pitchers are working, that's going to get past Loser. That's going to allow Ferris to advance. Runner over at third base is Ferris. Brings up the leadoff hitter for the Warriors, Mason Holtz. Holtz had reached on a walk. Here's the pitch. Oh, he's going to get drilled in the back. Now he's going to move him over to first base. It's hit by pitch. We'll see if they're going to give him a courtesy or not. Brings up Evan Sauer here with an opportunity. Runner at third base and a runner at first. Good lead over there by Mason. A little bit high. Surprised Mason didn't take off right away. Derek May, the pitcher for Kewaskum, getting ready to deliver. Mason Steps off outside. 2-0 is the count to Evan Sauer. Hits the ball into the gap for both the third baseman and the shortstop. Scores the run. And scoring is Brian Ferris. Single for Evan Sauer. Gets the RBI. Moves Mason Holtz over to second base. Surprised again, if Mason would have been over at second, he would have had a chance. And now coach is coming out to have a conversation with his players. For Kewaskum, Coach Stanky also pulls over the runner and the hitter to have the conversation. Quick conversation by coach. Looks like he's bringing up a new pitcher. Nope, I guess not. Oh, that's Zilmer coming out. Yep. Number 22 will be the new pitcher. We'll be back while Zilmer is getting warmed up. You're listening to Jeff Sauer here on Jeff's live stream. We'll be back here in the bottom of the third. Welcome back here to the Gus as we get done with the warm-ups for Donovan Zilmer now coming in to pitch after Derek May had 44 pitches here in this contest on the outside edge. Stelso gets a piece of it, fouls it out. With only one out, Warriors at first and second. Mason Holtz over at second base. Evan Sauer is over at first. Here's the pitch outside. Loser drops it, trying to get the ball back on the throw. 1-1 here for the Warriors. The way both of these pitchers were pitching, that one run might be enough here. Warriors, right down the middle, good pitch there by Zilmer. It's Dane Stelso. Just a little bit late on that swing. 1-2 is the count. Fouls that one. Good job protecting the plate for Dane. Mason Holtz over at second base. Evan Sauer is over at first. Hit down the middle. Draw hops up nicely for the second baseman, fires and turns the double play to get out of the inning for the Kewaskum Indians.
Grounds into the 6-4-3 double play to retire the side in the inning for the Warriors. They pick up a run on one hit, one Indian error. They strand one.
No runs, or one run on one hit and one error for Kewaskum. Ending it here on the double play. The Warriors draw first blood and score, making it 1-0 here from the Gus. East Central Conference baseball action. The Waupun Warriors taking on the Kewaskum Indians. The Warriors with a 1-0 lead after 3. We'll be back here for the top of the fourth. Welcome back here to the Gus. Leadoff hitter for Kewaskum. Nice pitch there, Alec Capazo. Mason Holtz with that first pitch in there for a strike. Capazo with a fly out to the first baseman. That's going to be hit over to Sauer. Sauer's going to field it over at short, fire it over to Krieger, and he's going to get the out for the Warriors on the 6-3 putout. Brings up the designated hitter for Kewaskum. That's going to be Dylan Soik. Once again, good pitching here by Mason Holtz to fire strikes and trust his defense. That'll help him try and get deep into this game. Right down there again for a strike, and Soik. Soik had a base hit in the second, was able to get over to second. That's where he got stuck. That's going to be a little flare. Fired over. Good field there by Sauer, and he gets the stretch for the out. What a play by Sauer to reach out there. Sorry about not flipping that camera so you could see it. My apologies. Great play there by Sauer on that little flare. Had some English on it. Looked like it might have been spinning and hop possibly away from him. It didn't. Stayed right there. That's going to be fouled. Mason's going to get out there, and he's going to tag and get the out, and a nice job there by Mason Holtz to hop off of the mound to get the tag out. 1-0 here for the Waupun Warriors. No runs on no hits and no errors, and nobody left on for the Kewaskum Indians in the top of the fourth. 3.5 complete. The Warriors with a 1-0 lead here from the Gus. Good, efficient inning again there for Mason Holtz. Total of 50 pitches. 51. We'll be back here for the bottom of the fourth. Welcome back here to the Gus, bottom of the fourth inning. Jake Krieger leading off for the Warriors, right down the middle. Drills it over towards the third baseman. That's going to be foul. Here's the pitch, down the middle again. Little bit late on that one for Krieger. Fouls it off. Makes it 0-2. You can see that the center field camera's dancing quite a bit out there. Right down the middle. Hit, between the shortstop and the third baseman for Krieger. Good hit there for Jake Krieger to lead off here.
Single for Krieger brings up left fielder Blake Coker. Larson on that.
A single there for Krieger. A chance now here for Blake Coker. Went down swinging. Krieger with a good bleed off. Good cut there by Coker. Just double clutch a little bit. Ended up being a little bit late on that swing. Zilmer ready to pitch. Firing him back over to first on the throwdown by Loser. Krieger dives back in. 0-2 is the count. And that outside pitch for a strike. Coker's got to protect that plate now. See if he can get a piece and get Krieger over to second. That's outside. Loser's able to grab it. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. 1-2 is the count to Blake Coker. Waupun with a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the fourth. Fouls that one back. Continuing to get pieces out there for Coker. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, gets past. Krieger's going to advance over to second base, makes a big turn over there. Loser's going to go back and pick it up. Coker now with a 2-2 count, nobody out. Warriors got a runner in scoring position in Jake Krieger. That one's going to be popped up, fouled on the third base line. Two still is the count here. Krieger with a nice lead over there at second base. Ooh. Maybe a little bit high, but that's the one he's been calling to make it a full count here. So Coker's got to make him pay now for that. Here's the pitch. Down low, he's going to get the walk. Krieger had a chance to advance to get into scoring position. Didn't see it. Brings up now. Coker is over at first base. Nobody out. Runners at first and second. Brings up the DH, Braden Larson. Good piece of hitting there by Coker to get the walk. Rotation as they've crashed the first baseman. Second baseman stayed home on that bunt opportunity here by Larson. Once again, high. This time the second baseman rotates over. One and one is the count here too. Larson, who also drew a walk in the second inning. Bulls back on it, 2-1. Dilmer throws that one in there for a strike. Don't understand why he pulled back on that one. Now it's 2-2. Nobody out. See if he's able to do his job. His job was to try and advance those runners, but fouls it off. He's out. Ended up giving him that bunt anyways. Does that go down as a strikeout?
Larson goes down swinging for the first out, brings up right there, Cunningham. Ferris on deck.
First out goes down as a strikeout here. With one out, brings up Ethan Cunningham. High on that first pitch into One out here for the Waupun Warriors. Runners at first and second. Here's the pitch. Fouls that one out of play. One and one is the count. Chance here for the Warriors to stretch out their lead here. Nice if they got one run, but it certainly would be nice if they could get a couple pushed across here. They had the chance, nobody out with runners at first and second. Cunningham gets on that curveball. 1-2. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle, goes down looking. Now 2 down for the Warriors. Warriors got to, I know they're young players out here, but they got to protect that plate like that. Or you got two strikes on you. You got to be all over it to try and do anything close. Brings up now Brian Ferris, who reached on the error on the outside edge for a strike. It's the one he's been calling as a strikeout pitch a couple of times. That one, he comes right down the middle. Ferris fouls that one off. Oh, and 2 is the count now with 2 down. Warriors at first and second. Getting ready here for the pitch. Fouls it off. Keeps things alive there for Ferris. Oh, and 2 with 2 outs. Here comes the pitch from Zilmer. Foul right up the middle. Good job there by the pitcher to get that glove down and fielded. Just a little bit more would have got past him. 1-3 for that 3 out. For that 3rd out. No runs on 1 hit. 2 left on and no errors for the Kewaskum defense. Waupun Warriors after 4 complete with a 1-0 lead. Here from the Gus in Waupun. We'll be back here for the top of the 5th. Waupun Warriors looking to see if they can get a win here in East Central Conference play. Welcome back here to the Gus as we get ready for the top of the 5th inning. Leading off, Matt Beekle, the center fielder for the Indians. First pitch in there for a ball. Haven't had many of those for Mason Holtz. He's done a great job of pitching tonight. I know Mason has struggled early in the season. That one's going to be popped up. Cunningham's going to get a chance to get underneath it. And the center fielder calls him off, and I don't know why that happened. Ends up getting the error on the center fielder. Cunningham had that thing lined up all with the wind. And Ferris ends up stepping in front of him and then drops it. And that allows the runner to get to first. Nobody out. Throws over to hold the runner. That always puts that little doubt in the pitcher's mind, as I've been sitting here telling Mason to trust his defense, and then you have a play like that, and you're going, oh my gosh. Throws back over as Beekle's got a little bit of a lead. Time is called. Derek May up to bat. Runner takes off. Fires. And a stolen base for Beekle. I understand why that was coming. Why Mason was thrown over to try and hold him. And that first pitch is in there also for a ball, so it makes it 1-0 with Beekle over at second base. Coach was a little frustrated with his defense, too, when nobody is yelling the bunt, and all of a sudden got everybody yelling it from the dugout and from the fans. 1-1 is the count. Here's the pitch. Good pitch there again by Mason. Is he going to try and take him himself? Going down 1-2 is the count. Fouls that one off as May. Got the intentional walk in the second inning. Here goes Mason for the Warriors, ready to deliver. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball off of the handle, trying to get after it. Foul ball hustle there by Evan Sauer to get there, but unable to do so. Just fouled down the line. Coker tried to give chase as well. Didn't get a good jump. 1-2 still is the count to May. Beekle with a good lead over there at second base. High on that pitch from Holtz. Two and two is the count. That one's going to be hit high into the air. Carrying back with the wind. Out of here. 2-run shot for May. Nice job there by May, getting that with good hard velocity. Gets it up into that jet stream of a wind that we got here, and that just carried that thing out to left center. Coming back here to live action. Warriors now trailing 2-1. Mason going quickly after Lucas Block. 1-1 is the count. Right on the outside edge, making it 1-2. Nobody out. The number 9 hitter pulls that one a little bit inside, makes it 2-2. For Mason. Lost that one on the outside edge. Brings it to a full count for Block. You know, Mason was really going quick there, so he was a little bit angry. You could tell that, but what he needs to do is take some breath here off the outside edge. May have been a whole different story if they would have got that first out. You never know what would have happened there, but that error kills, and that ends up costing the Warriors an extra run for sure. Mason Holtz goes after him, gets him on the strikeout for the first out.
Lots of strikes for the first out. Brings up top of the order pitcher, Brzezowski up.
That's going to bring up the top of the order now. Now the current pitcher, Donovan Zilmer, will be up. First pitch is in there for a ball. Next one. Gets that one popped up right down the middle for a strike, 1-1. Next pitch. Oh. I don't know. He ended up sticking that elbow out there. I don't like that call by the official. Take a look at the instant replay here. It looks like the batter actually sticks his elbow out into the pitch. Ends up still getting the hit by pitch and moves over to first base. I think Derek was asking the same thing. Coach Stanky was wondering as he stuck his arm out into it. You saw it there on the replay. It kind of looked like he did. 1 out. Runners taken off. Good throw there. Oh, almost had him. That was a good throw by Camp. Right on the bullet right there. Right on the money. Right on the base. Just a hair behind him. Just can see the end of it there. Once again, grants timeout to the batter. Here's the pitch. Nice breaking ball. Hangs a little bit. 1-1 now with 1 out. Runner over at second base after being hit by pitch. Berzowski. Mason's asking, why does he keep granting that timeout? Again, the umpire doesn't have to, just because the batter asks. A little bit high. 2-1. Batter coming back in. Mason Holtz with the pitch. Fouls that one off to make it 2-2. 1 out here. Strikeout would be huge here for Mason. Give him an opportunity to then put Loser on. And bring up Capazo to bat. Here's the pitch. Right there for a strikeout. 3 times looking for Berzowski. For the second out. Huge. And a smart play there puts Loser over on first base. Capazo up to bat now. He's flown out to the first baseman and grounded to the shortstop. Carter Curtin is the courtesy runner here for the catcher. Hunter Loser, who's going to get on the intentional walk. Capazo. It's been up twice, been put out both times. Looks like they're also going to give a courtesy over for the pitcher since Zilmer's going to also. It's going to be number 1. Coming back into courtesy run again. 2 down here for the Waupun Warriors defense. Mason Holtz ready to deliver. On the outside edge, hit over to third. Danes had to pick it up, field it, and steps on and gets the out for the third out of the inning. No runs on no hit, or 2 runs on 1 hit and 1 error. It leaves 1 on base for Sorry, leaves 2 on base for the Kewaskum Indians.
4 pitches for Holtz, 75.
75 so far for Mason Holt, so he'll get at least one more inning here. If he gets 6 innings there, that is really good for Mason on the season to get 6 innings out of Mason. So after 4.5 complete, the Waupun Warriors now trail Kewaskum after that home run in the inning, 2-1. We'll be back here for the bottom of the 5th with the Waupun Warriors coming up to bat here from the Gus in Waupun. You're listening to Jeff Sauer here on Jeff's live stream from YouTube. We'll be back. Welcome back here to the bottom of the 5th. Waupun Warriors Hunter Camp leading off. Bunts, pops it up. It's going to get down. Dropped that bat head just a little bit and ended up popping it foul. Camp, and then the top of the order for the Waupun Warriors, who are trailing here 2-1. East Central Conference baseball action here. Kewaskum is in second behind KML, who is undefeated in conference play so far. They've got to play the Warriors next on the schedule. Fouls that one off on a good cut by Camp. Makes it 0-2, though, for Zilmer. Kewaskum Indian pitcher. The home run hit by Derek May has put the Kewaskum Indians ahead. Here's the pitch outside to Camp. Makes it 1-2. Here's the pitch. Outside edge, hit over to the first baseman, grabs it cleanly, and then runs over and steps on first base to get the out.
First out brings up top of the order pitcher, Mason Holtz.
Top of the order here for the Waupun Warriors, Mason Holtz. Last time he was hit by pitch. And first time he walked, so he's been on twice. Outside edge there for a strike to Mason. Again, that's a pretty impressive on twice for at bat. He's done a great job of pitching inside 1-1. Here's the next pitch by Zilmer. High, makes it 2-1. Most of the time when we were watching, or when I watched Mason before, I haven't seen every one of the games that he's pitched, but he usually was out by 4.5 innings. So if we can get 6, that'd be awesome. Had a good cut there at that pitch. Makes it 2-2. One out here in the bottom of the 5th. Warriors trail by 1 run. Shut out on Tuesday when they went to Kewaskum, lost 5-0. Three and two. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle. That's going to be popped up towards the right side. Third baseman's going to get underneath it, and he's going to get the out. for Kewaskum.
Shortstop, Sauer. Stelzel on deck.
2 down for the Warriors. Brings up number 2 hitter Evan Sauer. Shortstop for the Warriors. Gets on that first pitch. Popped up down the first base side. Ends up going foul. And flying out with the foul out.
First to retire the side in the inning for the Warriors. No runs, no hits.
3 up and 3 down for the Warriors.
Kewaskum.
No runs on no hits and no errors for Kewaskum defense. Nobody left on for the Warriors as they trail after 5, 2-1 here from the Gus in Waupun. We'll be back here for the top of the 6th inning. Top of the 6th inning here from the Gus. 2-1 is the score. Two 2-0 for Mason Holtz. Makes it 3-0. Just talking about how impressed we were that Mason has gotten here in the 6th. Let's hope that he can get through this 6th inning. Three 1 is the count. Ooh, looked like that might have been a pretty good pitch in there, but it ends up going for a ball. Brings up for Dylan Soik, the DH. A walk. Bunt opportunity. Good pitch there. Picked up by Stelzel. Stelzel gets it over to first to get the out. He did put it down. That's right.
Like advances the runner with a sack bunt for the first out. Brings up center fielder Matt Nico. May on deck.
Nice job there by Dane Stelzel over at third base to field that and get the one out over there. Does move the runner over. Soik is over at second base. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be foul. Here comes the pitch by Mason. Great break, great breaking ball there. 1-2. It's easy for me to say. Here's the next pitch. Hit over towards third. Foul. Just chatting a little bit up here again, looking at Waupun will be taking on Hustisford Dodgeland tomorrow. They had a game scheduled with Laconia for the local area, but then instead they go south and pick up Dodgeland from Juneau. Here's the pitch. Right on the outside edge. 1-2. Oh, that's a looking good pitch there.
Goes down looking for the second out. Brings up shortstop Derek May. Blocked it.
Dodgeland out of the Trailways South. 6-8 record overall, 5-6 in the conference. Two down here. Coach asking for a conference. Derek May hit the home run the last time. Makes sense to me that he was going to walk him. Wouldn't take it out of Mason's hand. Why not walk him and bring back up Block, who he's gotten out twice by the strikeout. Plus, I would save on pitches and allow him to come back out and start the seventh. See what's happening here. So the umpire's really letting him have a long conference. Does it count if it's 4 pitches if you do an intentional walk? No. I'm not understanding. What's he got for a pitch count so far? It's got 87. Strike. For Mason. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. Now the runner's going to advance to third. 1-1 is the count. Two down. The Warriors are up 2-1. Runner now over at third base. A pass ball here would really be hurting the Warriors. Here's the pitch. Three 1 is the count. Here's the pitch. That was a breaking ball in there. 3-2 with 2 outs. This shall probably be Mason Holtz's last inning. He's up to 90 pitches. That's going to be fouled out of play by May. Mason going right after him. Three-two with it, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground. Holtz is going to field it, fire it, and throws it out, and that is going to get an error. And the run's going to score on the error.
He reaches on the throwing error, brings it around. Brings up second baseman Lucas Block.
Holtz fielded it cleanly. Ends it up new hitter.
New hitter for Kewaskum, number 11, Austin Blair.
Austin Lair. It's a new hitter for Kewaskum. Number 11, sophomore. Got him listed as an outfielder and a pitcher. Mason Holtz now updated. He's got 94 pitches, so pretty sure this will be his last hitter. Scored a run there now, making it 2 runs the Warriors got to score just to tie it. I believe they've only had 2 runners past or out to second base. Courtesy coming in for, or is that just going to be is that going to be a pinch runner? Because May's not a pitcher or a catcher, unless he's going in at catcher. Number 7 coming in for May.
Runner at second is number 7, Carter Kirk.
I'm assuming, I'm thinking that's what the expectation is here. First pitch. First pitch in there from Mason is a ball to the new hitter, Austin Lair. Next one, good job there by Camp again to block it. Austin pulling hard on the pitch. Overthrowing just a little bit. Makes it 2-0. Here's the pitch. A little bit high. 3-0 to Lair. On the outside edge for a strike. I have it down as it's his 98th pitch. Walks him. That's his 99th pitch, so I think he still could throw if he wants. Runners at first and second. Going to have a new pitcher here. We'll be back in as soon as the pitcher gets warmed up. You're listening to Jeff Sauer here on Jeff's live stream. We'll be back here in a second. And defense. I mean, they had solid all the way across. Check swing there as Jake Krieger's the new pitcher for the Warriors. Mason Holt switches with him, and he ends up getting the out over at first base. One pitch for Krieger to take out Zilmer.
No hits. One walk on error. They strand 2 after 5.5. 3-1.
Waupun Warriors now trailing 3-1 after giving up a run in that inning. We'll be back here for the bottom of the sixth. The Warriors trailing by 2 runs here from the Gus. See if they can get that offense rolling. You're listening to Jeff Sauer here on Jeff's Live Stream. Welcome back here to the Gus as the Waupun Warriors here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Dane Stelso leads it off. Follows that off to the first base side. The catcher, wow, Lozer gets all the way down the line to get that pop out for the out. Good hustle there by the catcher for Kewaskum. Gets hard down that line and ends up catching that foul ball for the first out. Here in the sixth inning. Brings up Jake Krieger, who's the new pitcher now for the Warriors. One and 0. Hit hard there. Nice pitch there by Jake Krieger, pulling that down the line for the single. Second hit. He's hit the ball all 3 times. The one he drilled out this first time, he drilled it to center on a rope. And 2 singles here for Krieger. 2 for 3. Brings up number 34, Blake Coker. On the outside edge again, the umpires called that all night. It's not a strike from my vantage point, but he's been calling it consistent. So we'll have consistency over necessarily a strike there. Right down the middle, 0-2. One out here for the Waupun Warriors. Trailing here by 2 runs to Kewaskum. Down the middle. Fouls that one off. No, they don't like to talk about it, but the future actually looks pretty bright here for Waupun baseball. Very young team here. The only senior, and in the lineup right now is Dane Stelso. Very young team. Krieger over at first, a freshman. Hit there by Coker. He pops that one up. Foul. Given chase as the third baseman. Dove and only missed it by about 12 feet. Gotta like the effort. I don't know if Mom likes the fact that she's going to be washing that uniform. But it is all artificial turf where he's diving at from third base, so it's just the black BBs in the shorts and everywhere. 0-2 is the count to Coker. Right on that outside edge again, and that's going to go down for a strike.
Becker goes down looking for the second out.
2 down here for the Waupun Warriors. Brings up the designated hitter, Braden Larson. Oh, new hitter for the Warriors. That's going to be, what was the first name? Landon Richter. New hitter here for the Warriors.
Probably don't need to introduce it to our team. Spanny's over there laughing too.
Yeah.
We probably know that.
Zilmer showed a picture of record here for Kewaskum. Trying to figure out why they took out Derek May and after only throwing 44 pitches. Here's the pitch. Outside edge again. That's that strike. Hey, if he's going to call it out there, keep throwing it there. 0-1 is the count. Hit hard at the second baseman to get the line out. That's a nice job there by Richter taking a good cut.
Ryan's the second to retire the side. In the inning for the Warriors, no runs on a hit. They strand one after 6, 3-1. Kewaskum.
No runs on 1 hit, 1 left on. And no errors for the Kewaskum defense as the Waupun Warriors trail by 2 runs here to the Kewaskum Indians, 3-1. New pitcher on the mound for the Warriors. That looks like that's going to be Blake Kolker, who's going to be coming out on the mound. We'll be back here for the top of the 7th. Warriors trail by 2 runs. Welcome back here to the Gus. New pitcher for the Waupun Warriors is going to be Blake Kolker. Take Jake Krieger out after throwing his 1 pitch to get out of the 6th inning. Brings up now Jacob Brzezowski. He's going to hammer that one to right field over towards Easton Cunningham, and he's going to be in there for a double. After going 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts looking. Brzezowski with a double. Brings up Hunter Loser. Nobody out here for Kolker. Hit to the right side again. Getting underneath it is Jake Krieger. Gets underneath it, gets the fly out.
Those are backs out for the first out.
Brings up Alec Capazo.
Alec Capazo. Swing that out.
Here's a pitch coming here by Coker. Pulls that, gets away from Camp. That's going to allow Brzezowski to reach over to third base. With only one out here for Waupun. Here's the pitch. A little bit high. 2-0 to Capazo. Only one out here. It's going to be a little wide. Good stop there by Camp is on that pitch. Makes it 3-0. One out here for the Indians. Here's the pitch by Coker. And he's going to draw the walk. Runners at first and third here for Kewaskum. Camp's going to go out there and have a conversation. Brings up Dylan Soik. Really, when you take a look at the stats, as you guys were talking earlier here, I mean, Waupun's got 3 hits, same as they had last night, but they held Kewaskum to only 4. Bunt out front, suicide squeeze, gets it down at first. Runner scored. A nice bunt there by Soik on the sacrifice. And the run scores and the RBI sacrifice there. Actually, a good play there by Coker as the pitcher. Didn't give him credit there for fielding it from his pitching position. Looked to see if he could get it at home, knew he couldn't, then fired it over to first to get the out. Brings out the second out. Now they give the intentional walk to put runners at first and second. Outside edge there for Coker. Only 3 hits. 4 hits here for Kewaskum. Only 1 earned run, 10 strikeouts for the Warriors pitching staff, but 5 walks. Throws it down to first. Krieger wasn't expecting that. Now it has the runner advance over to third. If the runner advances, yeah. I'm thinking so. Strike. Yeah, without the sunglasses, it doesn't look like he's got his sunglasses on over there either. Blocked there by Camp. 2-2 is the count. I thought that there had been a second strike. 2-2 is the count with 2 outs here for the Waupun Warriors, trying to get out of this by only giving up 1 run. That's going to go wide. Camp knocks it down again. Surprised that Blank hasn't tried to get out of that spot there to try and stop the force, but for Kewaskum. So now he takes off on a full count. Two down here for the Warriors defense. Blake Kolker on the mound. Third pitcher here used by the Waupun Warriors. Right down the middle, gets the strikeout of Max Beekle.
Goes down swinging to retire the side. In the inning for the Indians, they pick up a run on one hit.
A run on one hit, one error for the Waupun Warriors defense. Two stranded there for the Kewaskum Indians. After 6.5 complete, 4-1, the Waupun Warriors are trailing now by 3 runs to East Central Conference foe, Kewaskum Indians. We'll be back here for the bottom of the 7th. Welcome back here to the Gus as we get ready here for the bottom of the 7th. Leading off for the Warriors, number 3, Ethan Cunningham. First pitch in there by Zilmer's a strike. Next one a little bit high. 1-1 is the count here to Cunningham. Low. Makes the count 2-1. Warriors trailing by 3 runs here. Only scored 1 run against this Kewaskum team in the home and home split. Got shut out on Tuesday. Two and 2 is the count. Strike 3 to Cunningham. Looking. Cunningham goes 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Brings up Brian Ferris, who reached on an error in the 2nd inning. Or in the 3rd inning. There's the pitch in the dirt. Ball 1 to Ferris. Warriors had some chances to score more than 1 run, just unable to manufacture and push it all the way across. Hit hard there by Ferris. Good backhand by the second baseman. Stretch, good play. Really impressive there by the second baseman. 4-3 on the put out there for the second out. Really nice play there by the second baseman. 2 down now here for the Warriors. Number 9 hitter, Hunter Camp, the catcher for the Warriors. See if he can get something rallied here to get to the top of the order. Strike right on that outside edge. 0-1 is the count. Ball to outside. 1-1. Zilmer with the delivery for the Indians down the middle. Fouls that one off. It's Camp. 1-2. Here's the pitch. Ooh, on the inside edge this time, just missing. One, he makes it 2-2 with 2 outs. Knocked down there by Lozer, the catcher for the Indians. Full count. 3-2 with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Outside, gets the walk, gets us to the top of the order here for the Waupun Warriors. Brings up Mason Holtz. Outside edge there for a strike to Mason. Zilmer with a pitch inside, cut there by Mason Holtz, makes it 0-2. 2 outs here. Mason looking for a hit. He's been on base twice, once by a walk, once a hit by a pitch. Last time he hit it to the third baseman. Outside. 1-2. Here's the pitch. Inside, fouls that off towards the right-hand side. Just out of play. Keeps the count at 1-2. Inside, fouls that one off. That one's going to go out of play as well. Capazo over there really loves to chase after the ball. Inside, hit hard over to right. There's going to be a base hit for Mason Holtz, and they hold the runner at second. Chance here for Evan Sauer. Still has a good breeze blowing out. If he can get a hold of one here and tie the game here for the Waupun Warriors. Coach is going to come out and have a conversation with the team out at the pitcher's mound, see if he's going to make a pitching change. We'll be back here shortly. Mound visit is over. We'll get ready here for Evan Sauer, the number 2 hitter here for the Waupun Warriors, up to bat. Has a single already in the 3rd inning. Sauer hit hard. Got that thing into the air. If it stays fair, it is a fair ball, and it is tied. Out of here. I had the wrong camera view. Sorry about that. Dang it. Good hard hit right down the line for Evan Sauer. Ties the game for the Warriors.
3-1 bomb for Sauer. Ties the game. Brings up third baseman Dave Stone.
Third home run of the season so far for Evan Sauer that I've seen. He may have more, but I think that's the third. Brings up now Dane Stelsel for Waupun. Two outs here for the Waupun Warriors, and it's a tie game, 4-4. My fault on that, folks. I should have been paying attention to my camera angles. I didn't switch it back. Pulled that one hard down the third base side. 2-0 is the count now to Stelsel. Here's the pitch. Up over the top. Shortstop's going to field it on the bounce, fire over to first, and get Stelsel out at first. But now the Warriors have tied the game here.
Grounds is short to retire the side in the inning for the Warriors. They pick up 3 runs on a couple hits.
3 runs on 2 hits, including that home run from Stelsel. Going to extra innings here. Free baseball here from the Gus. Waupun and Kewaskum all tied at 4s. We'll be back here. Conrad Davis looks like he's going to come in the game as pitcher of record now for the Warriors. We'll be back as Conrad gets ready to warm up. Extra inning baseball here from the Gus. The Waupun Warriors just tied it up with a shot by Evan Sauer. New pitcher is Braden Larson for the Waupun Warriors. Leading off for Kewaskum here in the 8th is Derek May. He had the home run to put the Kewaskum Indians in the lead. Good pitch there by Larson. 1-1 is the count. For Larson. That's going to drill May in the back, and now he's going to have a runner here for Larson. Derek May advances by the hit by pitch. Brings up Austin Lair. Sorry about that. I had that change in there. Didn't see it. Austin Lair is going to come in. Oh, it's Block is back in? Oh. Okay. Lucas Block comes back into the game. How does that happen? You can re-enter? Huh. I don't know what that was. May over at first with a good lead for Kewaskum. Pitch on the outside. 2-0. Larson throws over to hold May. Stelso playing in at third, looking at for the bunt. Fires back over. May back in. On the outside edge, 2-1 for Braden Larson. Right on the outside edge, 2-2. Blockwood squared to bunt. May takes off, gets a good stolen base. Also runs back to cover third. Kewaskum now, with nobody out, has a runner in scoring position. Full count here to block. And draws the walk.
Block draws the walk. Top of the order pitcher, Brzezowski up there.
Nobody out. Indians at first and second base. Here in extra innings, East Central Conference play. Kewaskum Indians currently in second in the conference behind KML. Brings up Donovan Zilmer, pitcher. Coach Stanky's going to have a visit at the mound. And we'll be back as soon as he's done with his defensive visit. Welcome back here to the Gus. Defense's huddle is all taken care of. First pitch in there from Larson to Zilmer is a ball. Hard hit in the gap over at short. May, with nobody out, is going to hold at third. Bases loaded now here for Kewaskum. Brings up Jacob Brzezowski, who was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts until the 7th inning when the Warriors had changed pitchers. And he ended up scoring what looked like that 4th run for Kewaskum. Now the defense is drawn in tight. First pitch on the outside edge for a strike. The pin let loose. 4-4 is the score here from the Gus. Top of the 8th. Warriors defense drawn in to try and stop the bases loaded run from scoring with nobody out. Suicide squeeze, the second time they did it, executed perfectly. Nobody out. Kewaskum takes the lead once again, 5-4. Infield single for Berzowski. Brings up Hunter Lozer now with bases loaded. No place to put Lozer. Lozer hasn't done well so far tonight. So he certainly is due. the pitch. In the dirt, good block there by Camp to keep it in front. I should say in the carpet. 2-0 is the count. Third base booted. Sauer's going to try to go to first. Scoop there by Krieger, but the run's going to score.
Reaches on the air, brings that run. Alec Capazo. Strike at that.
2 runs have scored now here for the Indians. Still nobody out, bases loaded. Brings up number 21, Alec Capazo. Another courtesy runner in for the catcher for Loser. It's going to be number 2 coming in. Tony Basalacci.
Catcher number 2, Tony Busalaki.
Busalaki. Kewaskum Indians now with a 2-run lead, 6-4, here in the top of the 8th. Right down the middle, good pitch there by Larson. Capazo had the hit that ended up scoring Brzezowski. In the dirt, and now another run's going to score. For Kewaskum, makes it 7-4. 3 runs scored so far in this inning. Still nobody out. Right on the outside edge for the strikeout. One out here for the Waupun Warriors defense. Brings up number 14, Dylan Soik. The DH for Kewaskum. Fouls that one off. Here's the pitch. On the outside edge, makes it 0-2 with 1 out. Larson finding that edge, nibbling away, both sides of the plate. Comes back inside. 1-2. Right down the middle. So he takes a hack at it, fouls it off. Reaches out, slaps it over to left, catches it, fires it over to second to try and get the force, doesn't get him. Good catch there again for the left fielder for the Warriors. Blake Kolker went back out after his inning of pitching. 2 down now here for the Warriors. Runners at second and third for the Kewaskum Indians, who have the lead now 7-4. Here's the pitch. Fouls that one off. Matt Blank. One and 1 is the count. 2 down here for the Kewaskum Indians. Here's the pitch. Down the middle. Saws him off at the hands. 1-2 with 2 down. Here's the pitch. Outside edge, strike 3. Looking for blank.
Next down looking to retire the side in the inning.
8 batters in the inning, though, for the Kewaskum Indians.
3 runs on a couple of hits. 1 walk.
3 runs on 2 hits.
7-4. Kewaskum.
1 Waupun error. Strand 2. The Waupun Warriors now trail in the 8th inning, 7-4. We'll be back here for the bottom of the 8th. 'Welcome back here to the Gus as we get ready in the bottom of the 8th inning. Leading us off for the Waupun Warriors, the number 4 hitter, Jake Krieger. Warriors trail 7-4. Here's the pitch. Flies that one over to the right fielder on that first one. Gets underneath it and gets the out. Is blank for Kewaskum. One out here for the Waupun Warriors. Brings up number 34, Blake Coker, left fielder for the Warriors tonight. Right on the outside. Strike 1 to Coker. Zilmer going again. That's a little bit low for a ball. 1-1. Right down the middle, Coker takes a cut at that one, fouls it off, makes it 1-2 with 1 down here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Upon trailing by 3 runs. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle, fouls that one off. Right down the middle, Coker goes down swinging for the second out.
Coker goes down swinging for the second out, brings up the pitcher, Larson. Cunningham on it.
Brings up now here for the Waupun Warriors. Number 10, Braden Larson. Started out as the DH, has now moved over to the pitching spot. Threw 29 pitches in that last inning. Hit over to the right side. Good job there by Larson. He's going to help himself out here with a base hit. We'll bring up Cunningham now. Ethan Cunningham, number 3, the right fielder for the Warriors.
Brings up right
Seeing who they can get in as a courtesy, I'm assuming, for Larson. Just looking at the line again here for this game so far. Warriors pitching had 13 strikeouts tonight. 10 of them by Mason Holtz. So awesome pitching there again for the Warriors. Total of only 8 strikeouts on the offensive side for the Warriors. Ends up with who came in at courtesy? I'm sorry. Conrad Davis came back in as a courtesy runner for Braden Larson. Only 4 earned runs here for Kewaskum. 7 walks by the pitchers for the Warriors. And giving up 1 home run. Hit hard there. Foul. Cunningham all over that. Conrad Davis over at first base for the Warriors. 2 outs. Cunningham, he pops that one up to the right-hand side or left-hand side. Giving chase again is Capazo. Goes foul. Four walks for the Waupun Warriors offense. Kewaskum's only had only had 5 hits. Warriors have had 6. On the outside edge, and that's going to do it here as the Kewaskum Indians are going to win 7-4 over the Waupun Warriors. Kewaskum again with 5 hits, scored 7 runs. 4 of those were earned runs. 13 strikeouts by Kewaskum, 7 walks, and 1 home run. Waupun Warriors had 6 hits, scored 4 runs on those 6 hits. 3 of them were earned, 8 strikeouts only for the Waupun Warriors, and 4 walks issued with 1 home run there by Evan Sauer. And the Waupun Warriors are going to fall to East Central Conference foe, the Kewaskum Indians, 7-4 here at the Gus. We'll be back on the air again tomorrow. I might be here with Steve Winterhack. I think we're broadcasting on Radio Plus as the Waupun Warriors are going to be taking on Hustisford Dodgeland from the Trailways South. 5:30 will be that broadcast for those that are following the Waupun Warriors baseball team. Warriors now fall to 11-9 on the season. Still will be somewhere 3rd or 4th place, depending upon how you look at it in conference, as they're going to be trailing KML, Kettle Moraine Lutheran. They're going to also be trailing Kewaskum, and they will be, I believe that their overall record will be tied with the Ripon Tigers, but because Ripon has swept Waupun, I believe that they will be ahead of them, so the Waupun Warriors will be 4th in conference after this week. So once again, we'll be back here on the air. It'll either be on Jeff's live stream or it'll be on RadioPlusInfo.com with Steve Winterhack doing the announcing, which allows me then to just focus on being the producer and the director, so I don't have to worry about announcing, and hopefully I don't miss any shots like Evan Sauer drilled tonight going down the line. Thanks for listening and watching. Here from the Gus, you've been listening to Jeff Sauer. We appreciate you following the broadcast. Take care. God bless, and I can't wait to see you at the dining.